What's up, guys? David here from No Swag Media. Just wanted to come with a quick story time, tell a little story here. It happened again. I met Tyler again. For those of you who don't know or who haven't been following the channel, I've been a huge fan of Tyler's for about 10, 11 years now. Some of the first stuff I was buying from him was in 2014. It's 2024 now, so it's been a while. Creatively speaking, and as far as the career I chose to pursue personally, I owe a lot of that, I think, inadvertently to Tyler, through watching his interviews throughout the years, through just kind of following his progression as an artist, seeing his growth, taking his advice from afar. Growing up, I never thought I'd have an opportunity ever to meet Tyler. Fortunately, I was very lucky and was able to meet him after one of his shows, specifically in Philadelphia for the Call Me If You Get Lost tour.
I've known this man since my freshman year, and he is a simp for you.
Me and David. Yo, the next day, son.
I made a little video on that, kind of describing those days' events. So if you want to check that out, I'll make sure to have that up here somewhere for the video. Anyways, super cool dude. Tyler had also DM'd me on Twitter at one point, so we've had our brief interactions. He's liked to tweet here and there, but yeah, on to Coachella. Man, I did not anticipate myself returning to Coachella. I went last year all the way from Pennsylvania, flew out to California in hopes of seeing Frank Ocean perform. I was weekend too, so the day that I landed in California, he announced that he was canceling. I still had a really good time, music-wise, but experience-wise, maybe not so much. Coachella is extremely hot, it's very dusty, and I was one of the people who chose to camp with a friend. And man, waking up like in a sweaty tent or a sweaty car every single morning at like 7 a.m. while the sun's blaring and having to eat out of coolers, it can be fun, but man, it can be miserable at some point. So for me, it was like, I don't know if this is worth it. It's exhausting. So I didn't think I was gonna go again. That was until Coachella lineup came out and Tyler was one of the headliners. Now, for me and for a lot of fans at the time, we thought this meant new album. It seemed a little bit strange, I guess, or maybe off character for him to perform at a festival, you know, years after his last actual album dropped. I mean, he dropped a deluxe, but, you know, there was a point when he said he was done performing Call Me If You Get Lost at festivals. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get a ticket and I'm gonna go out because I think this will be a really cool moment. Besides Tyler, like as far as the lineup was concerned, there was a couple acts in there that I was like interested in seeing, but there weren't a ton that I was like, I need to see them. And this year, something that was a little bit different is that I had recently purchased this guy here, and I did a little Reddit reading and a little bit of rules reading for Coachella, and I saw that you can bring in a camera as long as it doesn't have a detachable lens. So, you know, I flew out to California, got settled and everything. Friday night, it was Lana Del Rey. You know, I kind of moseyed around the festival, took a whole bunch of photos of a whole bunch of different performers, and I was really happy with what I was getting. And then I decided, you know, let me see if I can get up close for Lana. And I saw that there was like a second stage area, so I was like, she's probably gonna come out here, and there's like nobody standing here. I bet I can get barricade. And I did. I got front and center barricade, and I ended up getting some really, really crazy photos that were shared online like hundreds of thousands of times. They were used by the motorcycle company that she rode in on. Like, the photos made their rounds. I was super, super hyped. So going into Saturday, I was even more hyped. I was like, I'm gonna get super dope Tyler photos. No Doubt's playing right before Tyler. So yeah, I camped out the whole day at Tyler's stage, front and center barricade. Yeah, I got some great photos of No Doubt, great photos of people throughout the day. And then Tyler's set happened. Great set, funny intro, and killer lineup of guests. Most exciting to me was Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, because as far as musicians go and performers go, I've seen him perform once. It was on the This Is America tour. You can debate me if you want to, but I think that guy is like one of the best living performers out there. He gets into it when he performs live. So I was super hyped for him to come out, especially on Running Out of Time, which isn't a song that he's actually featured on or anything. So it was super, super dope. I got great photos of him that I put online. I got great photos of Tyler. They were shared around a whole bunch, a couple 100,000 views on those. Going into the Sunday, it was like Doja Cat headlining it. There weren't really any sets Sunday that I was like super hyped to see. So like that Saturday I thought was going to be like the pinnacle of the fest for me. I was like, great Tyler set, great photos, front row. Going into Sunday, you know, I bounced around a couple stages, and then I mentioned to my friend like, oh yeah, I remember Lupe Fiasco is going to be playing at the Heineken House stage, which is like the smallest stage I think at the entirety of the festival. I know I have friends who love Lupe, and I know Tyler really likes Lupe, so I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's go see it. I mean, it's bound to be a good show. He's a really good rapper, and maybe Tyler will pop out. Who knows? And we were actually at the stage, and then I was just like, my feet were killing me. So I think it was my feet, or maybe I was sweaty. I don't know. I walked like a mile or 2 miles back to the car to change, and then I like quickly walked back, and I still made it in time to be able to see the show. But I was like kind of back a little bit and in a weird corner, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be close even if Tyler comes out. If the Lupe show's great, I'm not gonna have the best spot. So, you know, Lupe comes out, and within like seconds of being out to this little door to the left of the stage, Tyler's whole crew walks out, and they kind of gathered to the left side of the stage. And I'm kind of close to like some of Tyler's friends, specifically his one friend who was doing a lot of videotaping the night before during Tyler's set. And I think he also modeled for Golf LaFleur, Golf Wang. But he kept taking video of me during Tyler's set. I was up in his face doing this, and then he was like back in the corner of the stage, and he was pointing at me. So I kind of like moseyed gradually as people were leaving the set and kind of like moving throughout. I like moseyed my way towards him. And I was like, yo, I was at Tyler's set yesterday, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. I was like, do you think Tyler would, like, let me take a photo of him with his suitcase? He had, like, his little Louis Vuitton chessboard suitcase with him. And he's like, probably not. Thanks for asking, though. And I kind of assume that, you know, if I was him, I wouldn't want to be the friend who like goes up and is like, hey, do you want to take photos with so-and-so? So yeah, I just kind of watched the rest of the set. And then at one point, Lupe Fiasco had made some joke about like, I think it was like, oh, this song goes out to all the white people in the audience. And as soon as he made that joke, I like put my hands together and made like a face and like did this small, tiny little, I don't know, British clap. Right as I was doing that, I kind of glanced towards Tyler, and we like locked eyes, and he like saw me, and he was like, and he pointed at me, and then like ran over to me through his friends. And I was like, oh shit. I genuinely don't know if it's because of the fact that I was wearing a LaFleur hat, or he recognized me from being in the crowd from the day before because I had the same bandana on, or if he recognized me from meeting me in Philadelphia. No idea, but for whatever reason, he saw me clapping, pointed at me, and ran through a whole bunch of people to get to me. He fist bumped me, and then like whatever he said to me is a complete blur, and I remember nothing of it. It was very brief, and it was loud because we were in the middle of a show, but he like said something very brief to me. And then he kind of like pointed towards my camera, I think, or maybe I kind of like motioned towards my camera. So I quick like pulled out my camera, backed up a little bit, and boom, I took like 2 or 3 photos. One of them came out completely black, but then I got like the one really solid one, and then one where he's kind of looking down. The excitement I felt in that moment was crazy, especially because like as a profession, I'm a videographer and a photographer. Like that's what I do as a career. It's what I went to school for. Like it's a huge passion of mine. I just love capturing moments. I love capturing people. Over the few months before Coachella, I was taking photos everywhere of like all my friends. I was really getting into taking like portraits of people. Never in a million years did I think I'd have the opportunity to take like a posed picture of my idol. I was ecstatic. Everybody in the crowd was like, yo, let me see that picture. Like it was really a fun moment. Yeah, those photos ended up getting shared around. I think they've been seen hundreds of thousands of times. He was wearing an Ebbets hat. Ebbets shared the photos onto their main page. They didn't credit me though. Ebbets, can you credit me? I think like the moral of the story again is like, you just have to put yourself in the right places at the right times. for things you would wish to happen or want to happen. That's pretty much my story of getting to photograph and briefly meet Tyler again. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.